Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. I'm Tina Jha. From the generation of indigenous human-based neural stem cell model to the development of an innovative technology for detecting arsenic, we have plenty in store for you on this edition of Science Monitor. But as always, let's begin with the headlines. Indian researchers develop human-based neural stem cell model to understand brain development and dysfunction, will help in developing therapeutic modalities by expanding understanding of several neuro disorders. Role played by scientists and science communicators in the Indian independence movement to be highlighted under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Vigyan Prasar, in association with Vigyan Bharati and CSIR-AMPRI, will soon organize a mega seminar on the same. And scientists at Mohali-based Nabi develop an ultra-sensitive and easy-to-use sensor to detect arsenic contamination. The cost-effective technology can detect a wide range of arsenic in food and water samples within 15 minutes. And now the news in detail. A research group led by an INSPIRE faculty fellow has developed human-based neural stem cell model to better understand the development of human brain as well as the disorders associated with it. A protocol has been established for the first time in India by generating and producing induced pluripotent stem cells from human peripheral blood and then differentiating them into neural stem cells. This exceptional development will surely open new avenues for treatment strategies related to neurodevelopmental disorders.
Brain disorders belong to that category of serious diseases whose identification and precise treatment still remains a big challenge for medical science. Since decades, animal models have been used to understand and devise treatments against disorders that occur during neural development. However, the drugs that function successfully in animal models have failed in clinical trials on humans. That is why it has been long felt that accurate pathophysiology of these disorders requires human-based models to better design treatment strategies. Dr. Yogita K. Adlakha, who is a recipient of the Department of Science and Technology's INSPIRE Faculty Fellowship, has developed human-based neural stem cell models in this direction. The model developed by Dr. Adlakha, who is currently working at DBT's Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, Faridabad, can be helpful in studying brain disorders such as autism and developing precise treatment strategies for them.
Till now, whatever we know about brain, its function, its architecture, its composition and dysfunction, it has come from the animal models and autopsy brain samples. So there is lack of knowledge, and due to that, the drugs that are working in animal models, they have failed in human clinical trials. So we clearly need a model which can actually mimic human brain architecture, its function and disease. So that's how we thought of we should develop a human-based stem cell model in which we can take patients or healthy subjects' blood, and we can then drive induced pluripotent stem cells which behave like embryonic stem cells.
Dr. Yogita and her research group have, for the first time in India, established a protocol by generating and producing induced pluripotent stem cells from human peripheral blood. These cells can be converted into neural stem cells, which are present during fetal development and give rise to brain cells such as neurons. Thus, using models based on these cells, scientists can not only study human brain development, but also how neurodevelopmental disorders occur. This model was developed by Dr. Adlakha when she was working at the National Brain Research Center in Manesar.
These models that we have developed, this is the first step that we have taken in human-based model systems, and researchers in US, UK, they are developing better method to mimic brain physiology and function. They are developing brain-like structures in 3D culture system where the model system actually mimics brain function and dysfunction. And so this is the first step that we have taken, and we are still in the progress to develop better methods so that we can have better cells, better tissue that can actually mimic human brain function and its composition.
Dr. Adlakha and her team have also worked on small non-coding RNAs which do not encode any protein, but play an important role by regulating the expression of genes. The study has revealed the mechanism behind microRNA 137-induced differentiation of neural stem cells. The study of this microRNA could prove vital, as this microRNA is found in low quantity in case of neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism.
We worked on one microRNA, which is microRNA 137, which is present in brain in higher number. So when we overexpress this microRNA in neural stem cells, we observe that this microRNA is actually causing the differentiation of neural stem cells into neurons. And then we study how it is doing that, how it is stopping or inhibiting proliferation and inducing differentiation. So we have revealed out the mechanism behind microRNA 137 induced differentiation of neural stem cells. And why we chose microRNA 137? Because this microRNA is present in low quantity in neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism.
With this achievement, it will now be easier to understand how the brain develops, particularly the neurons, and what goes wrong during brain development, leading to cognitive decline, impairment in language and social functioning. The human-based models will contribute to developing better therapeutic treatments for various neurodegenerative and neurodevelopmental disorders. Treatments tested on human-based models are definitely more likely to be successful in real-world scenarios.
As part of the year-long activities under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Department of Science and Technology's Vigyan Prasar, in association with NGO Vigyan Bharati and CSIR NISPER, has planned several events and programs to highlight the role played by scientists and science communicators in the Indian independence movement. Curtain raiser of one such mega event was organized recently in New Delhi. Let's see this report to know more about the event.
India is entering its 75th year of independence. We all know that all sections of the society and the thinkers of the country made sacrifices to achieve this hard-fought freedom. Scientists also made a huge contribution, helping in awakening the consciousness about an independent India and laying a strong foundation for the future building of an independent country. But when we talk about the freedom struggle, the contribution of scientists has either been forgotten or remains unknown. Scientific institutions celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to commemorate India entering its 75th year of independence have now prepared an elaborate schedule to celebrate the contribution of Indian scientists nationwide. In this series, Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous institute of the Department of Science and Technology, organized a two-day curtain raiser event of the proposed All India seminar to be organized in collaboration with the science NGO Vigyan Bharati or VIBHA and the CSIR National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research. Organized under the theme, Role of Science Communicators During the Indian Independence Movement, The curtain raisers saw various thinkers and science communicators, including officials of the concerned departments, participating in the event and putting forth their views on the outline of the program.
We'll be bringing out stories of in importance, interest, that I'm sure will create a lot of interest in the Indian population, in Indian citizens, and also will bring those stories of discrimination and the others, amongst which the great determination of the indomitable spirit of our scientists could be highlighted. We'll be doing it through all possible media, which is print, electronic, social, digital. And when we say so, we'll be working on magazines, we'll be bringing out books, we'll be creating films, we'll be having a lot of workshops, train, and a lot of things.
ये एक स्वतंत्रता का अमृत महोत्सव मेरी दृष्टि से एक इतना अच्छा अवसर है कि स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन की ओर फिर एक बार हम देखें, उसको समझें और एक नई दृष्टि को प्राप्त करें अपने अध्ययन से। ये एक अवसर है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ, और मुझे लगता है कि ये विषय अगर लोगों तक जाएगा तो एक वो चेतना जागृत होगी विज्ञान जगत में भी।
The purpose of seeking independence from the British was not only to liberate a country, but to provide every Indian with the resources and facilities they needed to protect their economic and social interests and create a prosperous society that would be the backbone of a strong nation. This would not have been possible without the development of science and technology. This was the reason that scientists, science communicators, science teachers and thinkers of the time gave the country a basis of science and technology in 1947. This base has now become the stepping stone for creating a self-reliant India. Therefore, to highlight the role played by these scientists in nation building and spread their values and their achievements among the people, Vigyan Prasar, CSIR, NISPA and Vibha have planned a 2-day All India program on the 20th and the 21st of October 2021.
हमारा प्रयास है कि समाज के हर वर्ग को हम इस विषय से जागरूक कराएं कि साइंस ने किस तरह से स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में सहयोग दिया, कि हम उन सभी संस्थाओं को जो कि आज़ादी से पहले स्थापित हुई और जिनका मूल उद्देश्य यही था कि भारतीय विज्ञान और को कैसे इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर लेके जाएं, अपने विज्ञान को कैसे कर पाएं, क्योंकि गुलामी में आपको आज़ादी नहीं है विज्ञान को करने की। तो उन संस्थाओं को सबको जोड़ के भी एक कार्यक्रम किया जाएगा ताकि पूरे देश भर में उन सब संस्थानों को हम एक सूत्र में लेके आ पाए।
To mark the historic occasion of completion of 74 years of India's independence, year-long programs are being organized as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The role of science communicators during Indian independence is an important link in this chain. Several special issues and newsletters published by Vigyan Prasar were released during the 2-day curtain raiser event. Along with this, a lecture compilation, Freedom Struggle and Vigyan, focused on the contribution of scientists, and Vigyan Vidushi, a booklet on women scientists and entrepreneurs active before and after the independence, were also released. In addition, a web portal named www.swavigyan75.in has been launched to provide details on all aspects of the year-long celebrations. All the information related to the event can be accessed on this website.
And with that, time for a short break on the program. We'll be right back. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. An Inspire faculty fellow working at Mohali-based National Agri-Food Biotechnology Institute has developed an easy-to-use sensor to detect a wide range of arsenic contamination in water and food samples. This ultra-sensitive technology, providing results within 15 minutes, can prove to be extremely helpful in preventing arsenic-related health hazards. Let's look at this report to know more about this vital innovation.
Arsenic contamination in drinking water is a serious problem affecting the health of a large part of the society. According to a report published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health in the year 2020, 18 to 30 million people in India are at risk of high exposure to arsenic through their drinking water supply. According to a list of the Central Groundwater Board of the Government of India, 86 districts in 10 states of the country have recorded arsenic levels above the norm. Among them, the situation is more serious in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Bihar and Haryana. To protect people from potential health issues associated with arsenic intake, it is important to identify the presence of arsenic before it is consumed in water and food. Several institutions across the country have developed various techniques for the detection and treatment of arsenic contamination. But these solutions cannot be operated by a common man. Now, scientists at the National Agri-Food Biotechnology Institute, Mohali, have developed an ultra-sensitive sensor to detect arsenic that is also easy to use. The sensors have been developed by Dr. Vanish Kumar, who is a recipient of INSPIRE Faculty Fellowship of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and his team working at the institute. With just a one-step process, the specialized sensors can detect arsenic contamination in different types of water and food samples within 15 minutes.
When it comes to nutritional security, it is not only important to have a high amount of nutrient, vitamins, proteins, amino acid in the food, but to also ensure that whatever is being given as a feed to children, to lactating mothers and to people, it has to be free from all kind of contaminant. There are several kind of contaminant, and heavy metal, which is we are talking about arsenic, is one of them. And I'm very happy and pleased that we have developed a very rapid method of detection of arsenic in liquid and solid food, where we can detect the harmful level of arsenic as low as 0.02 ppb. ppb is actually parts per billion. And the allowable limit of this arsenic in Indian system is around 50 ppb, while as in Western countries, which are more advanced countries, this level is only 10 ppb.
As the specific interaction between molybdenum and arsenic was known, so the researchers created a material consisting of molybdenum and cobalt as a catalyst to give signals generated from molybdenum and arsenic interaction. The sensor was developed on a mixed metal-based metal-organic framework. The resulting ultra-sensitive sensor can detect a wide range of arsenic from 0.05 ppb to 1000 ppm. The sensor can be tested with 3 modes: by spectroscopic measurements, by color intensity measurement with the help of colorimeter, or mobile application, and with naked eyes. In the case of paper and colorimetric sensors, the color of the metal organic framework changes from purple to blue after exposure to arsenic. The intensity of the color blue increases as the concentration of arsenic goes up. This makes it easier for the common man to detect arsenic in his food or water before consumption.
This metal organic framework consisted of molybdenum, cobalt and bipyridine linker. In presence of arsenic, it rapidly reacts with arsenic and gives blue color. It actually forms molybdenum arsenic heteropolycomplex, which is of blue color. So by measuring the signal blue color intensity, one can easily know the concentration of arsenic in their foodstuff and water.
This innovative test kit is 500 times more sensitive than the existing advanced test kits of its kind. It is also economical and simpler compared to other commonly used techniques such as atomic absorption spectroscopy (AAS) and inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry (ICP-MS), which require extensive setups, lengthy and complicated procedures, skilled operators and complex machinery, along with difficult sample preparations. This is the first of its kind research in India, which can become a direct solution to a major health hazard.
Time for another short break on the program. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back once again. You're watching Science Monitor. Time now to take a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our special segment, Science Express.
On 13th August 2021, a mass national anthem event, Mera Maan Mera Rashtragan, was organized at the auditorium of Prithvi Bhavan, New Delhi. Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, attended the event as its chief guest. Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor K. Vijay Raghavan, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and Ministry of Earth Sciences, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swaroop, and Director General CSIR, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, were duly present on the occasion. A joint choir of DST, DBT, MOES, DOS led the rendering of the national anthem. This program is a unique initiative under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav being celebrated across the country to commemorate the 75th year of independence. National anthem always arouses the feeling of patriotism and national pride in the citizens. To encourage public participation in the event, a website named rashtragan.in has been prepared by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and people have been invited to sing the national anthem and upload it on this website. Based on the recently released 6th report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC), NASA has identified 12 coastal cities in India that are at the risk of submersion by the end of this century. According to the IPCC report, the sea level around Asia has been increasing at a faster rate than the average global rate. The report states that the coastal areas will see continued sea level rise throughout the 21st century, and the situation will lead to more frequent and severe coastal flooding, giving rise to coastal erosion. NASA has used IPCC report to assess changes in sea levels across the world, and according to its analysis, 12 Indian cities including Mumbai, Goa, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Kochi and Bhavnagar are likely to go 3 feet underwater by 2100. IPCC has been providing global-scale assessments of Earth's climate since 1988 every 5 to 7 years. The assessment includes various parameters such as temperature, snow cover, greenhouse gas emissions and changes in the sea level. The sea level projections are based on data gathered by satellites and instruments on the ground, as well as analysis and computer simulations. An instrument developed by ISRO's Space Applications Center has detected the unambiguous presence of hydroxyl and water molecules on the Moon, with the precision of differentiating between the two. This indigenous instrument mounted on the orbiter of Chandrayaan-2 is called Imaging Infrared Spectrometer, or IIRS. It is collecting information from the electromagnetic spectrum to understand the mineral composition of the lunar surface. The findings of this discovery have recently been published in the journal Current Science, and this achievement of Chandrayaan-2 is being considered as a milestone in this direction. The discovery could prove critical for future planetary exploration and resource utilization. It should be noted that ISRO launched Chandrayaan-2 in 2019. The lander of the mission failed to land softly on the Moon, but the orbiter, which was carrying 8 scientific payloads, has successfully continued to send back crucial data, exceeding its mission life of 1 year. The Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, has launched the country's first earthquake early warning mobile app. This application, named Uttarakhand Bhukamp Alert, will raise alarm about earthquakes of magnitude greater than 5. The Uttarakhand region is prone to earthquakes as it is among the most seismically active parts of India. IIT Roorkee was working on the project sponsored by the Uttarakhand State Disaster Management Authority, and under this project, sensors have been installed in the higher areas of Kumaon and Garhwal region. The sensors will detect the initial earthquake waves on the fault line and immediately send the signal to the Institute's Earthquake Early Warning System Laboratory. By assessing the intensity and speed of the waves, central server will issue a warning through the app if the impending earthquake is characterized as damaging, while for non-damaging earthquakes, only notifications will be sent. The app will also contribute to rescue and disaster management. According to a study conducted by the University of British Columbia, Canada, fasting can help keep off foodborne infections like Salmonella. The study has recently been published in the research journal PLOS Pathogens. People or animals often lose their appetite when infected with Salmonella. The researchers studied mice before and after being infected with this bacteria. It was found that the mice that were made to fast for 48 hours had fewer symptoms of bacterial infection than the well-fed mice. Fasting was also found to eliminate almost all intestinal tissue damage and inflammation. And as soon as the fasted rats were given food for a day, the number of Salmonella began to increase. The researchers also tested with other bacteria and found that these effects of fasting were not limited to Salmonella. According to researchers, although more research is needed, yet adjusting food intake could be exploited therapeutically to modulate infectious diseases in the future.
Well, so that's it from us on this edition of Science Monitor. You can send us your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. And you can also write to us. Here is our address, Vigyan Prasad, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi, 111003. So we'll take your leave now. See you again same time next week. Until then, take good care of yourselves and your families. Stay safe and also continue to think scientifically.